I smell like the arena?
You probably smell like salami, which cats can have a little bit of.
You think I
As a
smell like
treat.
salami?
But I haven't seen Timothy Duname yet.
Oh, Timothy Duname. But there is another
There's another.
that has done it so wrong.
Oh no. Oh no.
And that is Nitro Monster. So check this out.
No.
Okay. Is that the Nitro Pepsi?
It's fucking Nitro Pepsi!
Fuck! I knew it was gonna be the goddamn Nitro. I'm
How'd
so
you know
mad
it
at
was
you.
Nitro
I'm so
Pepsi?
mad right now.
Why are you
bought
mad?
a can of plain and a can of vanilla because I was gonna be like, all right, I bet Jackson's getting the Nitro Pepsi. I'm gonna one up and be like, hey guys, so, and then crack the Nitro Pepsi open at the beginning of the episode and try to upstage you. But I didn't.
I've already had both.
I have no idea what this is.
Okay,
I'm
so
It's
Dan,
Nitro Pepsi, Dan!
It's
Okay.
Nitro Pepsi. It's Pepsi
Okay, I
that
get
instead
it.
of being carbonated, it's nitrogenated.
Noah and I like 4 times Nitro Pepsi, Dan. I don't know what you're talking about. Talking about Nitro Pepsi.
Like
Now, if you don't know what Nitro Pepsi is, that's fair.
Yeah, that's okay.
But what we're talking about is Nitro Pepsi. Noah, have you had it yet?
I don't have
I
this
have had
kind of. This came in with some cursed energy here, and I was not prepared
What
for
do you
it.
think about Nitro Pepsi?
I think it sucks ass.
Fuck you!
Sure wish
Here's the problem. Okay, here's my problem with it.
the team
The
had let
first
me know
only
that
few
yelled
there was
at
a
sips, the first few
drink
sips
review
are
kind of
so
week. I could have, gotten
good.
it.
Dan, no one knew it was a drink review. He mentioned that he had a beverage to bring in, and I happened to see Nitro Pepsi in the store that night because the power went out. So I had to. So I went to the store.
I'm so angry.
Oh.
It's so good.
Okay, no. Here's the thing. The first couple sips,
It's phenomenal.
very good. The head at the top of a Pepsi, actually quite tasty, like a cream
Unbeatable.
soda Pepsi. Very
Amazing.
good. But then, as soon as you get past the nitro head, it's just flat Pepsi without the
Wrong.
acrid flat Pepsi
Wrong.
taste that carbonation brings in.
Wrong.
It's just syrup water.
It's got a better mouthfeel and body than regular Pepsi
It does. It
also,
does.
the thing is, if you're like drinking, like sipping up, so like the head goes away, and then being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna drink the rest of this over the course of more than 3 minutes," you're doing it wrong.
Man, I
This
slammed it over the course of like 3 minutes total, if that.
It's so easy to drink.
Oh, it's very easy to drink.
It's so smooth and creamy.
But I don't want to drink a tall can of Pepsi like.
God,
boom,
I wish I
down it,
didn't.
you know?
Yeah, I
Like-
wish I didn't.
I'll do it, but I don't feel that great about it later.
Because that's the thing. Like, I don't really drink soda,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been like fiending for Nitro Pepsi.
I can't believe you have a nitro addiction. You know, you put that in cars. It's like putting antifreeze in your Pepsi. It's the same thing.
Wait till this guy finds out about all the things carbon dioxide does.
Don't know what that could mean.
But no, it is. Nitro Pepsi is great, and I am here for the Nitro revamping of products.
I'm definitely with you on that one. Dan, you honestly, you might like Nitro Pepsi as a vessel to quickly get sugar into your bloodstream. Nitro Pepsi is there for you.
I'm literally still lost as to what this actually is.
Just
I need you guys to
fucking
understand.
Google Nitro Pepsi.
I don't
Dan,
understand.
Dan, have you ever had a Guinness before?
Maybe once. I cannot
Okay.
honestly say that I know for certain that I have.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so here's what it is. A lot of beers have like that slight carbonation from the fermenting process.
Yes.
Um,
Okay.
But to get a head on their beer rather than having it be all fermenty, it still has a little bit of fizz to it, but like Guinness also has nitrogen in it, like these little
Okay.
nitrogen tablets. So you crack it open, the tablet is broken, and the whole beer is like filled up with nitrogen foam or whatever the hell, you know, and it is supposed to make it smoother and all that kind of shit. I think, what was it? Like Coke, I think, did a Nitro Coke at one point.
Have they?
But it was like a long
I'm
time back
unaware.
if they did. But
Yeah, I'll look it
Pepsi
up.
recently came out with Nitro Pepsi, which is Pepsi with the Guinness nitrogen tablet in it that instead of being carbonated, it's smooth and nitro.
I don't think Nitro Coke was a thing.
Okay, cool. Someone told
I'm
me
not
it was,
seeing
and I
anything
had
about
never
it.
heard of it before, but I'm like, I
If,
guess I
like,
can believe it.
If you told me that like Nitro Coke existed in Japan in the 90s, I'd be like, sure.
Yeah,
Because like,
I,
it sounds real enough.
I'd never
Sure.
heard of any of this process before, so this
Okay,
is all new
so
information.
It
I
helps
apologize
add-
for being so upset, but I thought people knew about the process of carbonation, and by the effect, Nitrogenation.
I do absolutely know carbonation.
It's the same thing.
Except it's nitrogen
Yeah,
instead of.
they inject it with a different gas.
Dan,
Okay,
I'm
but
sending
it's
you a
the
link
same-
to Pepsi's website so you can see what the nitro looks like. It does that like cool reverse falling effect with the falling bubbles instead of rising bubbles thing.
That's wild.
Yeah, have you ever had like a nitro stout or anything?
I know. I can guarantee I
Really?
never had.
Yeah, Dan's not a beer guy.
Okay.
I'd never even heard of this before. Genuinely.
Really? That's
Yeah.
very
That's
strange.
why I was like.
I feel
I was high
yeah,
key
that's
like
weird.
confused and a little upset for a minute there because you guys are acting like I'm an idiot.
I'm
not an
very
idiot.
surprised you've never heard of nitro beverages before.
No, never.
As an enjoyer of alcohol, I would have thought that you would have come across a nitro beer at least once.
It's
I don't
very
drink
much
beer.
the selling
I drink-
point of Guinness.
I drink hard. I drink hard liquor generally speaking. I don't drink beer generally. Again,
Actually-
broad strokes.
I have a very remind me to come back to that hard liquor. That comment specifically reminded me.
Uh-oh.
We'll bring it back in a little bit.
I could not tell you the last time I had alcohol.
Really?
I can't remember. I think it's been
Holy shit! I
months.
just got to the bottom of the website page where there's these like weird staged photos of people drinking Nitro Pepsi, but they're all making like the same face while they drink it out of a can or out of a glass, and it's closed and it's up, and it's a very uncomfortable face to be making. I don't like it.
I love Nitro Pepsi though. That's all I will say is that I think it is genuinely amazing, and I think it's the most fun thing that's happened to soft drinks that I've ever encountered.
I'm
think-
impressed.
I think if it was, oh no, because this is a twofold thing. I think if it was less of a heavy sensation, I would like it more. What I'm realizing as I said that out loud though is that if it's a lighter soda, it's not gonna work. You need a heavy flavored
It
soda.
needs to have some thickness.
And
Dummy thing.
I think what I'm realizing more is I would like it better if Coke did it, because Coke has a more commanding flavor than Pepsi does.
Less sugar too.
Coke is just less like
as a
raw sugar.
Pepsi enjoyer, Coke
I'm
has a
not a
better
Pepsi
bite
enjoyer.
I'm
to
also
it.
not a Pepsi enjoyer.
And I think that fair enough. I think
I
that
used to
Coke
be.
would work better with this kind of sensation going on.
I agree fully, but and I would be 100% on board for Nitro Coke, but they don't have it.
Mhm.
And I don't drink Pepsi. I don't like Pepsi. I don't like cola or soda, but I am a huge Nitro Pepsi fan. I think it's really fun. But there is another
There's another.
that has done it so wrong,
Oh no. Oh
and
no.
that is Nitro Monster.
No.
Oh.
Okay, so you know how Nitro Pepsi uses nitrogen instead of carbon dioxide?
Yes, we're all.
That's the whole thing. So it
Now,
makes
and
smaller
now,
bubbles
now we're
because
all on the same page, and we all know this.
Well, the reason is that on a molecular level, nitrogen and nitrous oxide is smaller than carbon dioxide when they get infused with the beverages. So the bubbles are literally smaller,
Yeah.
and that's why it doesn't feel fizzy like Coke, like our Pepsi normally would. Instead, it feels like creamy because the bubbles are smaller and they have a stranger mouthfeel.
Yeah.
And that's part of the allure of it. So Guinness's whole thing.
No.
Nitro
I'm thinking
Monster,
of what that would do to Monster.
It makes it less
wait.
sharp.
because they didn't do that.
Oh, wait, what?
Nitro Monster uses carbonated water,
Okay.
nitrogenated water, and
Oh.
guess what else they put in it to give it a creamy mouthfeel?
Oh no.
Milk.
Is this the Lacto Monster I was hearing about?
It's the Lacto Monster. I got one to the grocery store the other day because I was like, you know what? I love the Nitro Pepsi. I've been all about it. I don't really drink energy drinks that often, but I'll try a Monster Nitro out of curiosity.
Yeah.
It's not awful. It's not like the worst Monster flavor for sure. It's not like Monster is one of those like high pinnacle standards of flavor. You know, it's
Yeah.
Monster. It's not anyone's like truly favorite flavor, but it's not the worst. It's not bad. Like it's good. So it kind of takes that, but it's like a little more citrusy and like a little less sharp, and it has milk in it. But you would never guess that it has milk in it. I
Except
just
for
don't
the
know
fact
why
that-
they put milk in it.
That's super
Because it
weird.
doesn't, like, I feel like if it just didn't have milk in it, it would be totally fine. Because if they're gonna, really what happened is they're cheaping out on the nitrous oxide.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the infrastructure, and most companies don't have a whole bunch of, like, a whole bunch of equipment to, turn a beverage into a beverage filled with nitrogen. They use a lot of carbon dioxide, though. So I'm sure to cheap out on the process, they just use their pre-existing equipment and then got like a little bit less of the nitro stuff, which I would say they shouldn't have done.
I'm so fascinated by this, like as an idea.
Yeah, I would say try the Nitro Monster, and maybe you'll love it. In fact, I was looking it up. You know who thought it was the best monster out of all of them?
Oh no.
Rhett and Link.
What? Interesting.
From Good Mythical Morning. And this was like a couple weeks ago. They had like they do like one of the things where they try every flavor of monster.
Yeah.
And they said the Nitro one was the best, which I fully cannot agree with, like, at all.
I'm so deeply fascinated by this as like an idea.
I'm not saying it's bad though. I don't think it's bad. It's just
not the best.
weird and kind of lazy.
I mean, same, but whatever.
Yeah, very much the same. Do you guys have a favorite monster flavor?
It varies over their time. A lot of the monster fruit ones are really good in general, in my opinion.
I feel like the monster juice is like the easy and obvious answer because they're just so good.
Better. Yeah, they're
all
just
of them
better.
are better. Yeah, like Pipeline Punch,
Pipeline Punch is my other one. I think it's the mango one. One of them has like a tiny bit of like pulpy going on in the bottom of it. I think it's the mango.
Yeah, I think it's the mango. I like the Pipeline Punch because it's got some guava to it.
Yeah, the Pipeline Punch is really good. What was there? They had a relatively new one. Hold on, that I had the other day that was pretty good. One of the juices, was it the lemon? I think I actually talked about it on the podcast. The Aussie lemonade. Yeah, I did talk about it on the podcast. No, you and I talked about it at one point.
Sounds kind of probably would be pretty good.
It's super good. I don't know why they call it Aussie lemonade, but sure.
I don't know either. It's got some kiwi in it. That's New Zealand. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I take it back.
No, you stand by that. That's comedy gold right there.
Noah, since you've had it before, I will say I don't know that there is a difference between Nitro and vanilla Nitro Pepsi.
I think
there
technically
is, but I don't know what it is.
But the issue is that regular Pepsi with the Nitro has more vanilla notes anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And so the vanilla one is just like
it's
maybe a little more vanilla. Yeah, but not by like a marginal amount.
I think it's easier drinking.
Yeah,
I think it drinks
I don't know.
a little bit easier, but literally mostly
I prefer
because
the regular.
I like the vanilla more, and I drank it faster. Like Nina and I knocked back a can of it over the course of a minute and a half, and that's the way you have to drink it. You need to drink it quickly.
It's so easy to chug.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the reason why it's like maybe not that great. And I mean, I was talking to Rob about this, and like I don't think it's gonna have any kind of staying power. Like I can't imagine it lasting because it's like you kind of have to drink it pretty fast. You don't really buy a large quantity of it, and you can't get it in a big container. And also, like Pepsi, like heavily encourages you to pour it into a glass, and like that's a kiss of death for anything being sold to Americans.
Yeah, people don't. No. Okay, so Dan, my opinion on that being, I agree because people, when given a can of things to drink from, how many people are going to follow the advice that says, "Hey, you definitely should pour this into a glass to drink it,"
and with no ice.
Yeah,
that's right.
I feel like it's a very not American beverage. I really like it though, and I mean, I'm like I've said, I'm a big fan, but I can't really imagine it sticking for years.
No, it does fill a pint glass perfectly though. Like if you hard pour it like you're supposed to.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan.
I'm very fascinated with it. I'm gonna have to like. Is it like okay? You guys now having had it, is it like can I go to Sev and get it, or is this like a?
No, it's I think so. At least it's a current rollout. So
where did you get it from?
Walmart.
I think it's a Walmart exclusive.
Oh really?
Okay.
I'm not 100% on this, but I've looked a lot of places for it, and I've only found it at Walmart. And I think it's because they're really trying to get people to pour it into a cup.
Pre-order it now from Walmart. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's or at least maybe it's got like Walmart exclusivity for a while. Yeah. But I think they're really pushing to pour it to roll it out in grocery stores. That way, people aren't like trying to open it up and drink it right then and there because they really want them to get the pour it into a glass experience. That's my inkling.
I will say I am a big fan of this new era of soft drinks that we have coming up though, because like Starlight Coke was fun. Like it's good.
Did you ever
I like it a lot.
I was gonna say, did you ever get to try it?
Yeah, I've had it a couple of times now. It's quite nice.
It's quite nice, right?
Many people say it tastes like cotton candy. I have still bought into the marketing jargon and say it tastes like s'mores and raspberry.
What?
Yeah, I agree.
It's you taste the burnt sugar that I think a lot of people, and a slight fruity taste that a lot of people are attributing to like
cotton candy.
But it doesn't taste like cotton candy.
Yeah, if you handed me cotton candy, or if you handed me cotton candy that was flavored like Starlight Coke, I would be very disappointed.
This is only making Starlight Coke more of an enigma in terms of how it tastes to me.
It is an enigma. I'm not gonna lie. It is a
very
weird
tasty,
flavor.
though. I like
But
it.
I also don't really have any desire to taste it. But I'm gonna try it if I see it.
I would say it's worth it.
I think there's also a lot of people who don't understand like Coke and Pepsi just in general.
Mm-hmm.
How so?
Because they exist so separate from how they taste. But like no one would be like, yeah, I am aware that Coke is like primarily like citrus. That citrus is one of the main flavors of Coke. So few people were like, yeah, that's true. I'm aware of that and think that when I drink it.
You know what? That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Because like lemon and lime are two of like the 7 flavor profiles that were in it initially, and they still are. And if you like know that and then drink it, you're like, oh yeah, I can definitely tell that. But because it's like brown in color and exists as a single entity that we see as the final product, we're like kind of alienated from the process of the flavors that are actually in it. It's like kind of surreal to think about just how easy it is to be like completely separated from something you've consumed thousands of times.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, it was like when I looked up what the flavor of bubblegum was. I think it was with Dan. And it's like listing off all this stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck do you mean this is bubblegum flavor? That can't be correct. But like, the combination is not something I've ever done. I have no idea how to make it work,
Yeah, and the same kind of goes for like Coke and Pepsi. And like Dr. Pepper is a lot more forward about it, obviously. It's like their whole thing is 23 flavors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of weird to think about how far we are removed from so many of the things we consume. And it goes far beyond beverages, obviously.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's kind of like, I mean, I've always been of the opinion, and I feel like, Dan, you might relate to me on this one, where like, I don't understand people who truly, fully believe in like movie magic, because I feel like it's way more magical to actually like think about the process.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I get that a lot. People who
Like,
completely
just like
buy
thinking
into
about like
it,
a director and like watching the behind the scenes and the commentary. That's like most of the magic as far as I'm concerned.
That's the real magic right there. Yeah, the real
Like,
magic is also the friends we made along the way, as we all know.
That's very true, actually.
Some people have said.
A lot of haters are terrified to admit it, but
that's why they're the haters.
yeah, I feel like understanding the processes that go on to make. And not that I think you don't understand. No, I know you do too. But like I feel like definitely it's something Dan and I have in common. Which is a rare occurrence.
One of those. Some people. No,
haters also thought it would never happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like when people are like fully sold on like a movie and like they'll see something and be like, "That's crazy how they did that," and you'll be like, "Well,
it actually
one
is.
of two things." You'll be like, "They didn't actually do that," or
it's even
actually
crazier than
way
you think.
easier than you'd think.
Yeah.
Or the rare, actually, yeah, no, that's genuinely crazy how they did that.
No. Like the one that always gets me for as far as like way crazier than you think is the fucking almost anything out of Inception. Not to like completely derail the conversation, but like any of the spinning sets on Inception is batshit insane.
I mean, the classic Inception shot of like what looks like a camera on like road level, but then it's like simultaneously downhill and uphill and like a perfect but it's not actually like an edit. It's just a way to shoot. Like that's kind of stuff's really cool. And I think that there's like a lot, and the people who buy into the movie magic sometimes like, because I mean I went over this when I talked about the time I watched Cruella like a month or so ago, and my girlfriend's mom was like, how'd they train the dogs to do that? And at the same time she was thinking that, I was like, wow, they couldn't get better fake dogs. And she's like, how'd they train the dogs to do that? It's like, those dogs are so obviously fake. They look like Play-Doh. But I will say, Cruella did, as we discussed, have some great costume design.
As recognized by the Oscars, yeah.
As recognized by the Oscars.
Which we all respect and approve of all of their decisions.
Are you trying to talk about the Will Smith thing, Dan?
No, absolutely not. I literally don't want to talk about that.
There's nothing more boring than people who care a ton about the Will Smith thing.
Yeah, I'm
because no one's talking about Dune.
Dune?
I'm not talking about Tim Dune because I haven't seen him yet.
Fuck you.
Actually,
Oscars,
I saw
baby.
Tim Dune the other night, but I haven't seen Timothy Dunamay yet.
Oh, Timothy Dunamay. That's actually my favorite book of the Bible. Yeah, ex-Christian kids know that one.
Fuck. I really like that a lot.
Anyway, it's 6 Oscars. That's
a lot. That's a lot of Oscars.
That's more than I've gotten so far.
That's so many
Honestly,
Oscars,
more than
dude.
me.
I'm not going to commit to that being more than I'll ever get.
I'm willing to say I think 6 Oscars is more than I'm ever going to get.
Wow.
I'll happily eat my words when I win my 7th Oscar.
I mean, maybe 6 in 1 year is a little bit much for me, but
again,
as someone who's not really interested in going to film, I think I can get more than 6 Oscars in a year.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already up to 2 this
more.
year, so like, I'm sure you could snag a couple more.
I'm gonna do like, I'll be like doing some weird like, I'll make a single graphic for a trailer for like a movie that wins 7. I'll be like,
ah, dude. It's like a
really weird connection.
It's like Super Bowl rings. Everyone gets one if you're involved in any way. Everyone knows.
I'm really hoping, because if the honors are getting real close to that playoff spot,
Hey.
really hoping I get an OHL ring.
That would be pretty great, honestly. Can
That would
you
be
imagine?
really fucking sick.
Get so many championship rings that you have trouble turning doorknobs.
I don't think they're going to. First of all, I would only get 1.
Duh.
Yeah, but this is future planning, Jackson. Future planning.
Right, that's true. And they're going to be a lot better next year, as every team says.
They're in a rebuild phase, okay?
And they're really bad this year.
Don't worry, guys.
Oh,
we'll
shit.
But-
I'm on the Monster website, and I just saw that they added watermelon as a flavor.
Mm.
Oh, that's horrific. And strawberry
Watermelon?
lemonade.
The strawberry lemonade is good, actually.
That Okay, we got
I
raspberry
can see
tea.
that being really good.
We have orangeade. We have
Ugh.
peach tea, and we have lemonade. Those are the original blends. Now we also have strawberry and watermelon. That pisses me off.
Can we?
I'm glad I quit
are we all
Monster.
ready to admit that watermelon flavored things are bad?
Yeah,
I've
they
always
suck
been
so
ready
much,
to
and
admit that.
they've never been
Like,
good.
I meant more like on a societal level. Sorry, I should have been more clear.
Oh, okay.
Like,
okay.
it just
I
sucks
hope
because
so.
watermelon is so good, and they just
Yeah.
fuck it up every time.
I love watermelon. Watermelon's great. It's the most versatile fruit, you know? You can do anything you want with it. And by anything you want, I mean you can eat it straight or you can poke a hole in it and fill it with vodka and eat it that way. You know, like you have options.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's very I'm done with it. I'm so fucking done with it. It's so gross. It's the worst thing.
Yeah, it lets me down every time.
Nothing
It's
is,
almost like it's on purpose.
Yeah,
Like,
it really
I
does.
don't
At this
like
point, it
green
really
apple.
feels intentional.
but at least green apple candy tastes kind of like a green apple. Watermelon doesn't taste like watermelon. And not in the
honestly,
way that banana doesn't taste like banana, because that at least tastes like a kind of banana that is extinct. It has a reason. Watermelon isn't extinct. It's never changed. It's still here. It's a big old gourd that's just full of fruit. Like,
Look,
It's full of fruit.
I'll say it. First of all, I'm a green apple appreciator, but that's besides the point.
that's fine. That's fine.
Watermelon flavors, some of the worst flavors, and also sadly overrepresented.
Yeah.
Specifically in the United States. And honeydew, one of the best flavors to add to things. Artificial honeydew is like always better than real honeydew, and I like the real stuff. And
know
it's
they've had
so
artificial
underrepresented
honeydew.
in the United States. What
I
are we
think if I-
doing?
Have I ever had artificial honeydew?
It's so good.
I've
I
never
actually
tried.
can see that because I'm only so on regular honeydew, but like I can see artificial honeydew being
I
way
feel
better.
It's so good.
melons feel
Next time
like
you go
they
to like
would
a
have a
boba
good
place,
flavor.
get the melon.
Oh yeah.
Because
I've
everywhere else
had-
just calls it like melon, or like a rock melon is all places call it.
I've had melon boba tea before, and it was really good.
Because the honeydew is a really, really good flavor, especially when it's like extracted and concentrated, whereas watermelon is a really bad flavor, especially if it's extracted and concentrated. And I feel like we're fucking it up so bad. We're dropping the ball consistently.
Disappointing, honestly. We
Incredibly.
could do better.
Yeah, Dune won 6 Oscars, and I think that's cool.
I am happy about
Because
that.
I liked it, and I've been telling everybody to watch it, and everyone's like, eh. And now everyone's like, oh, I should watch it.
And you're like,
Also,
bruh.
I have a professor that I now am enemies with.
Oh,
for good reasons or
because-
for funny reasons?
For Dune reasons.
Jim Dune.
Because he's like super, like he's like a very like film snob kind of feller. To the point where he's like talking about the Oscars, and he was like, "Oh, has anyone seen like? Have you guys all seen like Coda or like Power of the Dog?" And like just he's like, "Oh, like King Richard. These are all like really good movies. You need to make sure you've seen them." And I was like, "Ah, I love Dune." And he was like, "I don't really like. Yeah, I hadn't watched it. I don't really care for it." Fuck you. Right?
I can't.
Like I care so much about the Oscars and I care so much about good cinema, but I'm not gonna watch the one that won the most because I'm not interested and don't care. But then I'm gonna shame everyone in this classroom because they don't want to watch the movies I think they should watch. Fuck you. Like, because you can't use the Oscars as a metric and then not accept it when it's a metric for a movie that you don't really want to watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very upset.
You either do or don't. It's literally you get one or the other.
Yeah, you either get to say everyone in this room should watch Coda because it won, and then also accept that by that same logic, everyone in the room should watch Dune. But when it comes to the discussion on Dune, you're like, I don't really care about it, whatever. Like you're clearly just vying for things that you think make you look more intelligent because you like them and were rewarded for it.
Yeah, I think that I hope that we're finally as a society getting to the point where we can just accept that like there are movies out there that aren't air quotes filmy, like film movies or whatever you want to fucking call it, whatever fucking professor bullshit you want to call it, and that they are still some of the best creations that
By the
we've done as
way,
a society.
he's a comm professor.
He's a what?
Like a communications professor.
Of course he is. That's why he has a bad take.
That's why it's especially like don't lecture me on movies and not respect Dune.
Don't speak to me in my Jim Dune ever again.
But like genuinely, I had no problem with him. Like he's pretty nice and like a good teacher. But when it comes to movies, he's my nemesis.
See,
but anyway,
I really wish that because I see a lot of people who shit talk the Oscars as an institution because they're like, why do we even care what they have to say? And firstly, yeah, I get it to a point.
But
also, the Oscars aren't for everybody, you know,
No.
and that's okay. They exist in this world to like show off movies that do big things. They aren't there to say this is the best. Well, I mean, they do say it, but they're not there to say this is the best movie of the year.
I think it's a lot safer to read the Oscars as this is Hollywood's favorite movie that Hollywood made. Right?
Exactly. And I think that like,
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
why
lot of
Don't
fun
Look
to
Up
it.
won anything.
I mean, kind of.
God, I hate Don't Look Up.
Really?
Not because it's bad, but because it's so mid. It's so mid, and then it's like, you're welcome. We saved the world. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, it's so boring, so on the nose, and so like mediocre in a way that's disgustingly palatable.
Yeah.
Give me something gross. Give me something raw. Just saying the word fuck isn't edgy at all.
You sure
I do
about
it 24/7 just because I think it's funny. But like, you gotta give me a little bit more if you want to try and have any kind of narrative about saving the planet. And it's like, it teeters on like about to be like say something about like anti-capitalist and then being like, oh, but we gotta recede back away from that a little bit. I don't know. Just doesn't really say anything. But it like postures as if it's saying so much.
I don't know.
Also, the only person I know who loves it is also a person who says it's like their favorite movie of all time, and their favorite artist of all time is Machine Gun Kelly. So I think that tells you everything you need to know about this individual.
See, that's a much safer bet.
And that's enough. That's reason enough to hate it by itself. I don't like hate it. I just think it doesn't really deserve any praise for anything.
I think it's fair. I think that from what I hear, as somebody who did not watch it, it is like it's one of those things where if you think it's trying to say something, you probably already understand the message it's trying to give.
100%. And honestly, if you think it's trying to say something, you understand the message better than the people who are conveying it to you.
Exactly. And it's just gonna kind of make you sad.
Yeah. It didn't even make me sad. It just made me kind of annoyed. Because it's like, it's just it's one of those like dumb like doomer mentality kind of things where like, yeah, all society's gonna end, like all humans are gonna die because of global warming. First of all, not even all humans are gonna die. Society could inevitably collapse, but you think that would bring about the extinction of the entire species? That's a little bit high and mighty of you to assume. In some fractional form, some level of sapien will exist, because it's not like it'll be 100-0 extinction level event for humans. Like, get over yourself. Boo-hoo. No, it's fine. Things will happen one way or another. Like, it'll be all right. It's not unsustainable for life. It's just unsustainable for our lives and society. But also, it's like literally so... I don't know. And if you think I hate it, I actually thought it was like mediocre and fine. Nina hates it more than I do, from what I understand.
Wow. Yeah, no, Nina hated it with all her heart.
Yeah, I remember, like, I was like, yeah, I didn't really like it because I thought it was kind of like lazy, and Nina's like, I will kill everyone ever. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. I think it's a bad time.
I think Nina's big issue with it is she doesn't like things that they act like they discovered the problem they're trying to highlight, or also that like people aren't aware of the problem, so like they present it as if it's this is such a revelation, you've never thought of this before, when like I know a lot of people aren't paying attention 24/7 because that's fucking miserable, but like I mean, I pay a lot of attention, so I'm acutely aware of a lot of the things that something like that would show off, you know?
It's also just like the message of like, you may never have thought that sometimes far-right conservatives are brainwashed. You probably never thought about that. You probably never thought they're kind of extreme and would follow anything. You probably never thought that before. So thankfully, you got me here to introduce you to that idea, because you've never had to interact with it or see it firsthand. God, because person who's making the movie have clearly the better insight about this kind of thing than the average person. And I'm also not going to say anything else about the subject or make it matter.
Mm-hmm.
Dune got the better soundtrack award at the end of the day.
It did. And you know what? Proud of Dune.
Yeah, I mean, who could forget the Kid Cudi and Ariana Grande song that was in Don't Look Up? I really like Kid Cudi, and I could not manifest that song in my brain right now because I do not remember it.
I never listened to it.
I'm just here, confused and lost.
More of the story for the 5th time this year. Go watch Dune.
So, I'm gonna roll us back a little bit to Dan's
Thank God.
offhand comment about hard liquor that reminded me of this. Okay.
Okay.
So, one of my favorite things, Jeff and I were talking about this recently, is the people who don't know, who don't drink ever. The people who don't drink, the way they react to beer versus hard liquor, as if hard liquor gets you drunk different than beer gets you drunk, other than just faster. You know, like there's a speed thing there, but it's not like you knock back your 20 beers, you knock back your however much hard liquor is the same thing. You're going to be in the same place. You know, you're going to be a sloppy mess, whatever. But like, or maybe you won't. I don't know. Maybe you can drink 20 beers, but a friend of mine turned 21 recently, and his dad never touched a drop of alcohol in his life. His dad was like, son, I gotta tell you something. It's advice my uncle gave me when I turned 21, and I've never drank before, but this advice has helped me through a lot.
Oh, wow.
If somebody challenges you to drink hard liquor, you just walk away. You just leave. And that's it.
What? Who would challenge you to drink hard liquor?
You know, maybe someone who's like, hey man, let's do shots. That counts as a challenge. That's not a challenge,
that's an offer.
That is a challenge to drink hard liquor.
That's a polite challenge. I will say though, I'm not a drinker. I'm not a fan of drinking. And like I don't know, I feel like there is a difference between like just drinking beer and drinking like hard liquor. If you're drinking it straight because of the way you metabolize things based on like the percentage of content within your stomach that's alcohol. Mm-hmm. But not in terms of the actual like impairment for blood alcohol level. It's just the way that your blood alcohol level will spike is going to be different. But that being said, I also don't really have like I don't know. I don't have any problem with like taking shots. I feel like if someone offers me one, even though I don't really drink, I'm not going to be like, no thanks, man. I just say yeah, because it's free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the more free stuff you get in your life, the better.
That's a fact.
Honestly. But yeah, I was just thinking of it like that recently because when Dan said hard liquor, it's just like the people who have never had a drink are so afraid of whiskey as a concept versus it's just a Budweiser with the boys.
Yeah, it is very strange the way that people view like liquor if they're not around it ever or not like experienced with it or knowledgeable about it.
Yeah, I feel like this also kind of at least the thing it reminds me of anyway is that the whole like people who have like, oh, I don't drink insert specific type of booze, or I don't drink like as if it's diff.
I don't drink tequila, it makes me go crazy.
Like
no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Shut
but
up.
You believe it does, so it does.
Yeah, you're an asshole who can't control their liquor, and one time you went off when you had tequila, so therefore sure.
I was thinking of like people who like start dancing on tables, not like people who fight people.
Either or, frankly.
That's true. But I feel like usually the ones who fight people aren't the ones that say, I don't drink tequila. They're the ones who still do it anyway and then just keep doing it. Just keep fighting people.
It's fair. I don't know. It's weird.
Because I feel like it's a non-zero chance that other elements of whatever the alcohol is might like affect you mildly in one way or another, you know? But not to a point where it's actually gonna do anything. Not like that much. Not enough to justify, oh yeah, it's yeah, every time I drink whiskey, I just push my foot through a wall.
Every time I drink, I get feeling...
Hello, Giblet. Would you like to join?
I don't know.
Come on up.
People are bad. People just don't know how to fucking drink booze. That's the take of it I'm going to land on today. Like, just as a rule, I feel like people just don't know how to fucking drink
You're
their
a
booze.
special guest. How do you feel about that?
And that's fine. It's fine if you don't. Like, I don't want to be like, hey, you should know how to drink. But also...
Well, your paws are very...
Yeah, no, you don't need to drink. But
if you're going to have an opinion on it...
Did you just go to the litter box or something? And
you should at least have an opinion on it and not just like... My uncle told me one time, and this was the best advice. Shut up.
There is definitely a limit to practical advice.
Yes.
Giblet, what do you think?
Giblet doesn't believe in booze, actually. As a cat. Cats don't believe in booze.
He's sniffing my shirt. What do I smell like? Do I smell like the arena?
You probably smell like salami, which cats can have a little bit of.
You think I smell like salami? Wait, no. Why do you think I smell like salami?
I'm just trying to make the cats gonna have a salami joke. I don't know. Do you smell like salami?
Noah's like, yeah, this guy probably smells like cured meats. 7 p.m. on a Sunday? Yeah, that asshole smells like salami.
My man out here smells like salami.
Be like...
Baby Giblet.
Actually, that reminds me. I've decided to try a new alcohol. Sopranos reminded me at least. It's Sambuca.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One time I drank a bottle of that in a cemetery and then threw up for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That is not a thing to guzzle.
Yeah.
It's too thick.
Oh, yeah, it's awful.
I like it.
God, it was awful.
I like it a lot.
I do too, but
it's definitely a sipper.
It's not something you drink a bottle of in a cemetery and then throw up everywhere.
That's true. See, I would like to have had it with fucking coffee. Because I hear it's really nice when paired with coffee. And I'm just kind of curious as to what kind of like flavors Anise imparts into coffee. Like, how does that balance? How does that work?
I would guess it imparts the flavor of anise.
Well, yes, but I'm also interested in how that like develops the coffee as well. Like there's, it could be neat.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of like, it goes with the similar ideas, like really just like a flavored syrup.
Mm-hmm.
Because if functionally that's what Sambuca is.
Yeah.
Kind of like putting like an almond syrup in your coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, I guess, let me rephrase that then. I'm curious to see what the combination of black licorice and coffee is like.
Yeah, I'm also curious as to that. Sounds good though. I'd drink it.
Mm-hmm. I have a little bit of it left still that I'm gonna make. I was gonna have the coffee tonight, but instead I kept bashing my head against a boss wall on Elden Ring, so I did not make coffee. But also, it's for the best.
What boss wall?
What is it? Malekith, the Black Blade or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I not to shit on the game that I enjoy a lot. It really does feel like the ending areas aren't balanced at all versus like other areas, because enemies can still like eternally one-shot me.
You might not like what I have to say, but did you do the Consecrated Snowfield at all yet, or the Mogwin Palace?
No, probably not.
Because you're supposed to do those before that,
really?
Ideally. Yeah.
Can I go back and do that?
Yeah, you can just leave whenever.
Okay, cool. Then I'm probably gonna do that.
Which I would suggest, because otherwise, like, the problem like with Elden Ring is because it's so open world, is like it's really easy to just get too strong, and then it's not that fun. Because like, and not that like it's the difficulty is the fun, but kind of it is, and like. If you just beat every boss on the first try because you're like level 140 and just didn't clear out an area and you kind of want to see the bosses anyway, it's just like, eh. Because I had to go through that when I ended up going to the Volcano Manor. I was pretty over leveled and I just kind of like plowed through everything.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
But although at the same time, if you're someone who doesn't, that's kind of like that's the Dark Souls classic of you decide the difficulty. We're like, hey, if you want to, you can just be like level 150 and beat everything easily.
Mm-hmm. I'm level 108, and I'm kind of just stuck because I don't have anywhere that I can grind enough runes to make.
Yeah, I would say go to the Consecrated Snowfield, try and do a little bit there, and then if you can get like 108 is probably good to go into like the Mogwin Palace and fight through that. But then after that, go to like the Helig Tree, or maybe go to the Farum Azula. It's kind of one or the other. Dan, I wasn't here last week. Have you had any updates on your progress or thoughts on the game? I have
not. I just haven't gotten back to it. Not
fair.
out of like there's no saltiness here. Just haven't had time. Haven't had time and energy.
Yeah, I haven't finished the game yet, and I am very, very close. It's just I haven't played in the last week almost.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Mostly because it's just like hard to.
It's a time sink.
Well, hard to make myself sit and play something on the PlayStation. Because I have like I can't do one thing at a time. Mm-hmm. So it's hard when I only have one screen, and I had to like bring my laptop out and have something playing in the background and watch something at the same time I do the game.
See,
which is unfortunate.
What I do is I just I have just enough desk space to prop my phone up against my computer tower. So I just have it next to me, and so it doesn't block my screen at all, but I can still like look down and watch. Unfortunately, this means that I'm limited to the type of content that I can have on the side, because I have a couple of people who do I like watching Binding of Isaac runs,
yeah, a little Northernlian.
But here's the thing. Firstly, Northernlian.
I know, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Hasn't released one in like a week.
Yeah, well, it's because the baby's been sick.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm caught up on the baby sick lore. Don't
the baby
you worry.
keeps getting sick.
Many people are saying this.
I'm not even kidding. It's actually like it's been like a 3-month bout of baby being sick.
I feel
baby
like it's
goes
been
back to
happening since
daycare.
November.
Baby
though,
gets sick
it?
again. Yeah, it's been like pretty consistently happening over and over again. The cycle of like, hey, okay, or the baby's gonna stay home from daycare because like she's sick, and then being like, well, okay, we need to have some like elements of socialization now that she feels better. Let's go back to like the activity gym and like some like minor daycare activities. And then they're like, okay, well, she's sick again, so here's another. And then that's. But I feel like that's just kind of what happens when you have a kid. Mm-hmm. Like they be going out and getting things for the first time. They've never experienced a virus. Exactly. So they're like, oh shit. First virus that shows up is like, oh boy, we better go in.
Mamma mia, here we go again.
But yeah, I found another Isaac player. I don't know if you're familiar with NyanTuber.
I'm not.
No, I can't
totally silent videos. It's just gameplay with subtitles, but the subtitles are funny.
Sounds nice.
So I want to read them sometimes. So I don't actually like watching like their videos when I'm playing. So I tend to
be able to read what you're.
I just want to listen to people talk.
You gotta watch the Super Auto Pets videos. You got so many to catch up on.
See, I've been watching Northern Lions like multiplayer Elden Ring, where he just like sits there and
I mean, if you want to have someone to watch for hours, you can always watch Dan Giesling's Elden Ring because he's definitely not past where you are.
He definitely is not. And I gotta be honest, that man does things that I can't stand watching.
Yeah, I agree.
He's just
he'll
be like, oh, I gotta kick this bird down this hole. And it's like, okay, but you spent an hour doing that.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? That's not fun to watch.
I think he did it for the same reason that I'm on board for it being done, and that's addicted to Twitch gambling. God, I love Twitch gambling. I don't like Twitch. I don't really go on Twitch ever. I don't watch streams. Not like a huge fan of them, but goddamn, can I not get enough gambling on Twitch?
Oh my gosh, it's so fun.
I won a 98 times payout on Dan Giesling's stream the other day.
You're kidding me.
Everyone was like, he's like, can I first try this boss? Which everyone knows he probably can't.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? 1,000 points. 1,000 channel points says he can. And I was one of the only ones who said yes. And he did. God, I was thriving. 98,000 point payout. Incredible.
That's
I being in Noah's stream, not to plug Noah's stream too hard. But
you're winning.
You gotta show up so
stream.
you can gamble against me.
Yeah, no, someone needs to gamble against you. Someone needs to be there to just at least
going
say,
to Noah's stream
I don't
and then
trust
making
Jax.
him do bets on things.
I'll just be running around and I'll like take 2 hits at a boss and be like, huh, this is a little more complicated than I thought it would be. And Jackson will just be in the side and be like, Gamba? Gamba? Gamba?
Like I seen Noah even like not near a boss and be like, hey, can we get a bet going on? Can we get a It's just so fun. He wasn't even like fighting a boss when he was doing the like subterranean shunning ground, and I was like, can we get like a gamble? Can we gamble on this?
And I'm like, okay, will I get to where I'm trying to be? And then I paid out wrong because the area I walked to didn't actually have the name that I thought it had. So I get there and I'm like, oh man, I found the wrong place by accident. Okay, pay out doubters, and because I died, and then I'm like, wait a minute. I just died to a named character. The named character guards the door I need to find. Fuck. I did get to the place.
Then there was the time when Noah bet if you could kill his boss or not, and then it was kicking his ass, and I had bet that he couldn't, and then it just jumped off the edge of the map and died. And I was so mad.
It was so funny.
Because he wasn't like, he was not gonna win, and then it just suicided.
Oh,
I was like, oh,
Dan, I wish you could have been there. I'm like, oh, cool, believers win this one. He's like, you did not kill that boss, and I'm like,
especially because the bet was only me. So if I won, I got exactly the number of points I bet back, and if I lost, I just lost them. And that's about half the bets that were going on in the channel, was me either gaining nothing or winning nothing or losing everything.
So good.
Anyway, I love Twitch gambling. I think it's so much fun, especially because like end of the day, it's zero stakes. It's just for fun.
Stakes. Absolutely none.
Because I don't like actually going to like casinos and gambling. It like terrifies me.
Fuck that noise. Fuck
and
all
I'm
that.
poor as hell.
No,
but
yeah.
Like,
see, I
being
can't
poor
do
as
that
hell,
because I would gamble my life away. I know that I would like stuff like that, so I'm not touching it.
in my poor as hell saga, I have my computer works more now.
Hey.
I have I got rid of my old hard drive and got a new hard drive.
Nice.
Yay.
That was a friend's old hard drive, but it's fine.
Hey, new to you.
It works. Yeah, exactly. Then now another part of my computer will die in like a week. That's okay.
Bold of you to assume that it's only going to be a week.
She's running like a champ.
I know what's wrong with it.
Might try and get some more RAM for it, but I just don't know if it's even worth it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because a stick of the RAM that's in this thing is $20, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
And I have more slots for it, so like I could get another 8 gigs of RAM, and then I could have 16, and it would only be like $30.
That's not bad. That feels like the kind of thing that might be worth it.
It's what the kids call DDR1. No, it's 3, but still. We'll get there. One day I'll have a computer that I can do things on it again. But for now, I can record videos or audio. Not video.
Hey, but you're halfway there to video. Audio.
That's true. That's like a big part of a video is the sound.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit! Oops!
Yeah, I've been converted to being a huge Twitch gambling head.
It's too much fun. It's just a nice little facet to Twitch. I'm really glad that they. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not gambling. Actually, it's predictions, which is literally gambling because European countries, some of them don't allow it. And I know this.
I think it would be so cool.
Because a friend of mine can't participate in the polls.
It would be so cool though if like it was like a more proper kind of gambling setup where you like as the streamer had like a house pool and you yourself set the odds.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Just like some other options, or at least if I could like if you put in yours,
if you could generate channel points.
Yeah. Like I should be able to pay you back. If you're correct, you should get more than you put in.
Yeah. I feel like that'd be kind of cool if there was like a proper like stakes system that you could implement. But at that point, like you don't want to devote too many resources to like online pseudo gambling with unreal channel points. Mm-hmm. Like it's not that deep. It doesn't need to be.
People have definitely gotten in trouble for less.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's just like, it makes it harder on like the streamer and the mods to have to like implement and try and like math out what the odds should be on like fighting a boss.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I would just do 1.25 to 1 across the board and 2 to 1 on a story boss. That's it.
2 to 1? No way.
Oh, I'm sorry. That you're right.
2 to 1 for you? No way.
no, 2 to 1 payout.
I know.
For you.
I know. No, I'm saying for you,
Fine,
like
7 to
you were the
1.
one who's fighting the boss.
7
2
to
to
1 for winning.
Maybe 7 to 1. This guy died like 12 times to the version of Mog that's like not like the easy one.
There's another version of Mog?
No.
No, and that wasn't the easy one. That wasn't the one that people meme about.
I've never seen Mog memes before. Wait, what?
Yeah, no, you're good. You fought the real and hard one that everyone says is hard and are scared of.
Oh, nice. Comforting.
So good job.
Who's the other one?
There is no other one. There's only one.
There's an item that makes him easier? Oh,
There's an item that makes the hard one easier.
Oof.
There's not an item that makes the easy one easier.
I did fight the regular one. There is only one.
You're right.
A great enemy boss found in the subterranean shunning grounds.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so true, bestie. You beat him.
And it says to bring this. Oh.
Don't look anymore. You're just gonna.
Oh,
He's gonna
Mog
make you
Lord
sad.
of Blood. Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah. I don't know how to get to him, but I want to fight him.
Well, I gave you the keys earlier. Because it's before Farah Mazula.
Oh man, it's good to know that. It's good to know that I'm gonna be dying a lot more.
I was just waiting. I was waiting on you to formulate whatever was going on.
Oh man,
Noah's heart breaking live in real time. Technicolor version.
Oh, I like this trivia about Mog, Lord of Blood. A
call me
similar
that.
boss, Mog the Omen, can be found here. It's like, shut up.
And I also was talking about that. There's another thing I was talking about with Rob in the last week. The duplicate bosses in Elden Ring, and how it's kind of like, it feels like kind of shitty that they're like, yeah, here's one of the demigods, Mog, Lord of Blood. Here's another version of him that you fight in the sewers that like has the same model and everything and some of the same attacks, but it's not him, and also it's different. And like there are lore reasons for it, and it makes sense, but like, is it kind of annoying? Although I don't think it truly detracts from the game too much, and I mostly cite the God of War defense on that one, which is that like no one has a problem with you saying that God of War 2018 is like really really good, and there's a lot of reskin nearly identical bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, at the end of the day, like no one, like if you're like, I like God of War, no one's gonna be like, yeah, but they did kind of, there's some lazy boss design. Yeah.
Oh well.
But like, yeah, exactly. That's kind of how I feel about Elden Ring, where it's like, yeah, I like it. Yeah, sure, there's some lazy boss design. The game's like 100 hours long. The other Souls games are like 40 if you're slow.
I'm a big fan of Margit and Morgott personally. That's my
'cause
favorite.
I don't want to. That one I don't want to spoil too much, but like that one's, the lore is that they're.
There's lore reasons for it, and I understand, but I think the fact
I think it's funny that they
is-
changed the name.
That too. It's the trivia on these is like, I love this because Mog that I killed is not the Mog that I thought he was. But that's the trivia I've been telling Nina about the wrong Mog. And I'm like, oh, this is what I did. Ha ha ha. Nope.
Now don't you feel the fool?
No, not really, honestly.
You did also die to it like 10 times.
I did die to him 10 times. Who was the guy though that I beat on like my 5th try that you said there was no chance in hell I would beat? Because that was a good one. Can't
I
remember
don't
who
know.
it was now, but it definitely happened.
Maybe like the Commander Nile guy.
No, I lost to him a lot.
You did lose to him a lot.
I think I lost to him more than I lost to.
Yeah, you died a lot to a lot of bosses, huh?
I did. I die a lot to a lot of bosses. I don't really mind it.
I don't. Yeah, I can't remember the fire giant.
Oh yeah, I beat him a lot.
Yeah,
quicker
I
than
thought would take you. I thought it would take you more tries, but you got him on like your 4th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I told my coworker about that, and you're like, talking about how he's an easy boss. I told my coworker I beat him in under 10 tries, and he borderline fell over.
That's insane. Your coworker is garbage.
He's good at other bosses. He was just really bad at the fight.
Maybe.
Oh, do you want me to close out this podcast with a really funny story?
Sure.
Has to do
Always.
with marijuana.
That's illegal.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna make up a fictional coworker that this happened to, but
Schmoa Schmeets.
yeah. So Mr. Schmeets, here's what happened to Schmeets. Schmeaty,
You
we
can't
call
say
him.
that. Don't say that. Do not.
You said it. You set it up.
Yes,
and
but
I'm
it's
knocking
a
it down.
term. It's a thing. It's a thing already.
I know.
Schmoa Bussy.
Yeah, okay, so Mr. Bussy.
Stop.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do you not want me to play along? Fuck me, I guess. All right.
Jackson
Tell
says
your
something
story.
heinous. Noah, yeah, actually. Jackson, wait, no, go back.
I would argue that maybe Jackson said something anus.
Okay, so we're gonna call this guy Fred.
Yeah, so would I.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Fred Fox.
shut up. So Fred got home from work the other day, and his roommate was like, "Hey, do you want some hot chocolate?" And Fred's like, "Nah, I'm good, thanks though," and went to bed. Fred worked early the next morning with me, and after because I live near him, picked him up, brought him in. We're just chatting, having a normal day. I go to truck. I unload the truck and I come out and I'm like, "Hey Fred, how you doing?" And he's like, "Bro, I think I'm dying. I'm so goddamn high right now." Turns out that hot chocolate was like super dosed. Super
Oh, he
dosed.
set it aside and drank it in the morning.
Yeah. He found it in the fridge and was like, "I'm out of coffee creamer, so I'm going to use it in my coffee." And he had it and he's like, "Wow, this is really good." So he had some more just on its own. Like he had a lot of this hot chocolate. A lot of hot chocolate. And his roommate did not tell him it was dosed. Now, granted, offering it the night before, if Fred had said yes, then maybe his roommate would have been like, "This is a marijuana."
Maybe he dosed it after?
I don't think so, but you never know. It is possible. So Fred is having a terrible time all day. He's floating through the day. He's so high he could barely function, and he's just like, he's working the register. He had no cash mistakes. Somehow this
God,
man was fine all
That's
day.
so scary.
Oh,
I also have a
terrifying.
weed story too.
What ended up happening was the manager was like, "Hey man, are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, kind of okay." I'm like, "Oh, did your girlfriend keep you up too late last night?" He's like, "No." And I'm like,
You tried to
"What
give
the
him
hell,
an
dude?
out.
I tried to give you an out, Fred. What the hell?" And so he ends up talking to the manager about it. I have no idea how my manager reacted other than I know it was, "All right, we'll get you out of the register and it'll be okay." Not what my manager should have done. However, it worked out okay. But apparently my manager told Fred a story about a time when they were also a little impaired, apparently, but Fred doesn't remember because the whole day is wiped from his memory.
God, that's brutal.
And
So,
yeah, he got home and slept for the next 8 hours. I got a text from him at like 10 that night and he's like, "Bro, I just woke up. I feel terrible."
That's incredible.
He peaked
So
5 hours into his shift. He peaked.
That's
He was
amazing.
building
That's
the whole
amazing.
time and peaked when
That
he
is
left.
amazing. I also have a story about, and not me this time.
Oh.
So I work as an intern for a hockey team, and as a result, I do a lot of media and press relations and like broadcast stuff. So like after the game, like I take like the reporters and stuff down to the locker room. I bring out the coaches and players and we interview them and stuff.
Yeah.
And yesterday I got into the press box, probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours before the game started. And usually no one's ever there, but there's one reporter who shall remain nameless because, gotta
Yeah, you're not a narc.
yeah, was there super early and just like vibing, just like staring at the ice, just feeling himself, just vibing. And then he started like talking to like my supervisor and the other intern and I as we were like setting everything up, and it seemed normal to me. And then like he left, and my supervisor was like, was it just me, or was he like high out of his mind? And I was like, nah, no way. Like what? No. Who would go to work high? on purpose because like this is not a guy who would do that. Like not like
Yeah.
I mean,
You
okay,
trust
I don't
this
want to say not
guy.
a guy that would do that, but like not something I would have expected or thought of it within like the normal bounds of operation. Anyway, at like 11 o'clock, I get home from the game. My boss texts me and he's like, sent me a screenshot of a text he'd gotten from that guy that was like, hey man, sorry if I was out of it today. I was like really high. He's so open, so like chill. I mean, he's like, it's like medically prescribed and everything. So it's not like, he's like, but I just got prescribed it medically and I was trying it out. And yeah, sorry if I was really high. He was at the game like 2.5 hours before it started. And then like, see, and on one hand, I was like, I can't imagine doing that. On the other hand, I was like, I'm so jealous because imagine going, like, here's your day. You go, like, you smoke weed, you go to a hockey game, you sit in, like, the press box. So, like, the highest level seats, like, great view. You sit there, you watch the whole hockey game. But here's the kicker. Before the game, you get to go down to the media room because you have, like, the media press pass. And you get to eat the media room food, which was, like, a chicken parm.
It's hot.
Ooh.
So like imagine getting like high out of your mind, eating a whole bunch of free chicken parm and pasta and like a salad and some donuts and coffee, and then going back up to the press box watching a hockey game, and then that would be amazing. And then I would shut down as soon as I realized I had to go talk to like the coach and players.
Oh my gosh. That would be terrible. That would be terrible.
I only think he asked like 1 or 2 questions, and then
That makes sense.
because there's a whole bunch of people down there, so it's like there's usually 3 or 4 or 5 guys that ask questions, so you can get away with only asking like 1.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
That's insane.
that's a guy's living the dream.
I'm not even mad, frankly.
I'm not either. I mean, again, like especially if it's like he's got like a medical card. Yeah, I mean, like you can't be mad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, you could if you're a
you
hater.
could if you were a hater, but yeah.
And I think that's probably a good spot to wrap because I know Noah wanted to wrap with his, but it just reminded me of mine.
No, that's
you
good.
just want to
I
one
mean,
up him on the way out. I respect it.
I
I don't know if it's a one up
Fred
actually.
Fred hasn't gotten high in months. He's not a huge like weed man. He appreciates it, but he doesn't do it much, like ever. So he got absolutely, his ass was blown clean off by this, and he's like, well, how many brain cells do you think I lost? Because I know when you get like that high, it can be a little dangerous for you. And I'm like, oh, buddy, are you okay? So good. Poor guy. Anyway, yeah, thanks for listening today, everybody. Send us your weed stories at the Off the Air on Twitter in the comments section of the post or whatever. I don't know, man.